What is up, Lego Gang? Nicole here, back at it again for another video. Today we are going to be reviewing the Lego Marvel X-Men X-Mansion. That's a lot of X's, but not as many as I have. I'm just kidding. But I'm not. This is the newest Lego Marvel set that will be releasing in November. I am so excited to share it with you. But before we get started, please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. And also, I should add that this set was sent to me early by the Lego group, but all thoughts and opinions are of course my own. I was filled with two emotions when I unboxed the set. One, I was super excited because I grew up watching the 90s animated series on Saturday mornings. It was such a big part of my childhood, and so I was so excited for that. Another X word, but I was so excited about that. But then I had a little bit of anxiety because for as much as I love X-Men, I never really dove into the comic book series, so I felt like I would be a little bit dumb when reviewing this, but it was okay. There was only like one thing that I really didn't know, so maybe you guys can help me out. I'll let you know later in the video what that was, but for the most part, I was able to identify a lot of the Easter eggs, and there are a ton in this set. So without further ado, let's dive in. The Lego Marvel X-Men X-Mansion will have 3,093 pieces, retailing for $330, releasing on November 1st, 2024. Ignore the giant hole in my box. So this is the completed model, but like most of my reviews, we're going to start at the very beginning. This model comes with 3 instruction booklets, and inside the booklet you can find some information about the history of X-Men from the comics to the series, as well as the design process that went into this model. It's a pretty cool read, so definitely take the time to flip through it before you start building. And be sure to get into sticker mode because there are over 50 stickers and they're not that bad to apply, so do not worry. There are a total of 10 minifigures in this set, so let's take a closer look at each one of them. Up first we get Wolverine, and this is actually the same minifigure that was in the X-Jet that came out earlier this year. I believe it was January. So nothing really different with this minifigure, and of course he does also come with his hairpiece, so that's pretty cool. Up next we get Charles Xavier, and this is actually the first time that Lego has made this minifigure, so that's pretty exciting. But when I was looking at this, I couldn't help but notice he has Michael Scott's suit on. I had to confirm, but he actually does have the Lego Michael Scott suit on. Up next we get Storm, and I believe she has the new skin tone, if I'm not mistaken. Someone please look that up for me, but I absolutely love this minifigure. Her fabric cape looks really cool. I looked up some of the previous Lego Storms, and this is by far my favorite one, so I'm really excited about her. Up next we get Cyclops, and this is probably one of the more detailed figures in this lineup. He's got full torso and leg printing. And I know that this Cyclops is different than the one that came out in the X-Jet from earlier this year, so I think some people will be happy about that. I don't know, but yeah, there you go. Up next we have Rogue, and this is the exact same minifigure that came in the X-Jet, again from earlier this year. She's got full torso as well as leg printing, and she does have an alternate facial expression. Next we have Iceman, and I just love how jolly this minifigure looks. It just makes me laugh every time I see it. But yeah, I would have liked him to be translucent, but I don't know if that's possible in Lego form, so he's just this like plain white minifigure with icy printing on it. It's not bad. It's not bad. It definitely works for what they're going for. Now this minifigure I think is the one that everyone's going to be most excited for. This is Gambit. And of course he comes with his staff as well as his throwing cards, and I think it looks amazing. He comes with a fully printed torso as well as leg printing and Han Solo hair. I think this is Han Solo hair if I'm not mistaken. But of course you can see he also has some back details, and he does come with an alternate facial expression of him kind of like side smiling. Very cute. Up next we have Bishop, and this minifigure is very detailed. I love the torso and leg printing as well as the lit up eyes with like the M over the eyebrow. Very cool. I also really like the hairpiece that they chose for this. It goes really well, and of course there's an alternate facial expression that looks a little more normal. Up next we get a classic Magneto, which looks so cool. He comes with full torso printing as well as the new rubber capes that they came out with this year, which I think really fits this minifigure very well. He of course has some back details, and he does have a hairpiece that comes with him as well as an alternate facial expression of just him smiling. And last but not least, we get Dr. Jean Grey, and I know that this is a long-awaited, coveted minifigure in the Lego community because this was only released once before as a Comic-Con exclusive, so a lot of people are going to be excited to have her.
And of course, she does also have two facial expressions, one kind of like mad and the other one smiling, and I just really love this minifigure. And this build does come with a brick build Sentinel, which looks insanely amazing. The thing with the scale of this is it just makes the mansion look smaller, so I think a lot of people will think that the mansion is smaller just because this guy looks so much bigger. And I think that's what fooled me when I first saw pictures of the X Mansion on the box, but actually he is just really big, and the mansion's big, and he's just really, really big and very detailed. He does also come with the option to attach like one of those clear pieces on the back of him, so you can have a minifigure actually like lunging at him, which is really cool. And he does come with a bunch of ball joints in his arms as well as his legs, so he's completely posable. So he's really like playset functional, if that makes sense. You can actually like lunge him at your minifigures and have little battles, and it's really, really cool. Now, people are already going to be asking, where is Beast and where is Jubilee? And the short answer to this is they're in the set, but not in the way that you would think. So just tag along with me for this review, and I will like show you how they're in the set, but not like minifigure style. So this build can be broken up into 3 separate sections. Book 1 will cover the main part of the building, so the lobby as well as the lab upstairs in this cupola that's on top, or dome, whatever you want to call it. Book 2 covers exclusively the danger room, and the danger room covers 2 floors, so you have the ground floor and the first floor that it covers. And lastly, you have book 3, which covers the ground level, which has the classroom and the library, and then the upper level, which will have the dormitories. Now, something to mention about this, like I said, there are 3 booklets, so you can build this with 3 friends, but additionally, there are 24 bags in this set, so you can actually build this like an advent calendar for Christmas time. I believe the designer had mentioned that it was X-Men for Xmas, so there you go. There's your slogan for the holiday season. Let's start this build off by exploring the top floor, and so the roof pieces do come off. So we begin in the lab level, where we can hook up Charles Xavier to the Cerebro machine. It's also the mutant detector, and there's like a stickered mutant world piece, so you can look for all the mutants that are out there in the world. Next to him are drawers with a syringe as well as a cookie. And inside the elevator, we have a piece of gum, which is a reference to Jubilee. Also in this room is the MRI scanner, where Jean checks Wolverine, and under the bed is an X-ray of Wolverine's arm. Moving along, we enter Dr. Jean Grey's space, which I'm assuming is her space. There's a computer with a cure, as well as a little microscope, all these little fun details. But on the floor, there's a spilled cup of coffee, which I believe is a reference to Beast. Now we move on to my favorite room, which is the dormitory. On one side, you can clearly see is Wolverine's space, where you can even recreate that really sad meme he has when he's holding Jean and Scott's photo. This is a brilliant move on Lego's part. I will never forget this. On his nightstand, you have the Statue of Liberty from his fight scene, as well as a pack of bubblegum for Jubilee again. And I wonder if the sword on his wall is for Psylocke or for Japan? I'm not really sure. And on the floor is a sticker tile, which represents the very first issue of the X-Men comic. Like, this is one of the coolest Easter eggs, like, probably on the planet. And this calendar with Wolverine eating sausage and Akali Lake is fantastic. Akali Lake is also where that secret military base was, and Jean sacrificing herself, whole thing. So moving across the model, we're going to find ourselves in the viewing room for the danger room. And on the floor, you can see a chessboard for when Charles and Eric play chess. And there are all sorts of knobs and controls for the danger room, as well as a viewing window, which is actually very small and very hard to maneuver a minifig in, but it's still there. And the danger room has different removable dangers, if you will, on the walls, so you can remove them to kind of like customize your danger experience. But I'm going to take them out and show you each of them. And the floor definitely has some unicorn spikes. The 4 danger removable panels each have these like numbers on them that refer to either universes or comic series in the X-Men world. Earth 92131 is the mainstream reality, so this is one of the universes in the X-Men world. Additionally, Earth 13122 is another X-Men universe that is pretty common. UX266 refers to Uncanny X-Men Volume 1 266, and this is a storyline that has Gambit with the Shadow King. It's a pretty cool story. And my favorite reference is this one. It's 141965, so X-Men number 14 from 1965, and this is the first appearance of the Sentinels. And like I mentioned before, these panels can be removed and placed wherever you want them to be. There's no like particular place they need to be, so you can just customize your danger room however you want it to be. Now let's move along to the ground floor of the X Mansion. So this gives us a better look at the bottom level of the danger room, but on the back of the model is actually this electric box that you can pull out and push in, and that opens up the entrance to the danger room. And at the entrance to the danger room, there is a TV that has these mutant return, and you can see that the anchor is actually a mutant himself. He's got 3 hands. And moving along to the lobby, you can see the X that's tiled on the floor, and I really adore this detail. Help, there's a coffee mug in the elevator, and I do not know why. There's a portrait of Charles and Magnus on the wall, as well as a class photo of the first year of mutants. The front doors also open, which I thought was a really cool detail. Moving along, we finally enter the library with a bunch of study materials and books. So we enter the classroom where we can see Beast is teaching a digital lecture, but one cool thing is this wall actually moves to reveal a screen where the Sentinels are actually attacking. And on the floor is a travel brochure for Japan where Wolverine goes to like find himself. So now let's take a look at all of the exterior details. So there's Wolverine scratches on the pavement as well as a destroyed window, and yes, there are enough pieces to actually complete this window and fix it, which I really like and I might end up doing for myself. There's also a hydrant that has flown off, and that lamp is supposed to be tilted, but there's also a sign for Xavier's school. So now taking a look at the back of the model, there are a ton of details back here, so I'm going to try to run through all of them so that we don't miss a single thing. There's a graffiti reference to Megan Gwen and posters for Nightcrawler and Dazzler in concert. There's also a Days of Future Past Wanted poster. I really like this basketball hoop with the basketball chilling next to the iconic cardboard boxes. And of course the electric panel that opens and closes the danger room. But like most Marvel sets, there is a dumpster that has a reference to Toad. Inside are references to different characters. You have a fedora for Beast, a piece of bubblegum for Jubilee, a cutlass for Nightcrawler, as well as a coin for Magneto when he's angry. There's this little lever in the back that when you push it down, it actually will explode the dome on top. Here's it from the front. And of course, the set does come with a ton of trans clear pieces so that you can arrange all of your minifigures around the set to have them be in like pure attacking mode. It is amazing. I do want to add that this build is modular scale, so here it is next to the sanctum.
All right, so this wraps up my review of the LEGO X Mansion. Please leave me a comment below letting me know what your thoughts are and if you plan on picking up this set, and I will see you guys for the next one. Bye!